Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Kay and today we're gonna have a little bit of fun. So I placed an order with Yesstyle. For those of you that don't know, Yesstyle is a website that ships internationally. They do Asian clothing for women, men and kids, and they do a lot of beauty products. Primarily what they sell is Japanese beauty and Korean beauty products. So I decided to place an order, and I decided to do that for two reasons. One, I wanted to test the website out. I wanted to see what the service was like, what the shipping was like, and what the quality of the products was like, and also the price. And then I also wanted to have a bit of a play and do a full face of K-beauty makeup. I say K-beauty makeup, I've got two items that are Japanese, but I'll tell you that when I get to them. It's obviously quite difficult to order shades when you can't see them, so for things like foundation and concealer it's going to be a bit hit and miss as to whether I've hit the right shade or not. So this could either be a complete success or an absolute disaster. Either way, it could be quite funny. So let's just have fun with it. So I got a bunch of stuff, a lot of stuff. When I placed the order, I got a couple of little freebies with it. One of them was a beauty sponge, and it came in this cute little pot, and I don't know if you can see, but it's got bunny ears on it. So when the sponge was in the pot, it looks like a little bunny. I just thought that was really cute. But yeah, that's cost me nothing, that was free. So we're going to start with a primer, and I've got this from Etude House. So it's the Face Blur Liquid, and it's in the Cherry Blossom edition. Oh, look at that bottle, that's so cute. Oh, so it's pink. I don't know if you can, pink. So I just want to preface this by saying I am not a makeup artist. So those of you that have got more knowledge about makeup and how to apply makeup than I do, you might cringe at the way I do things. That's fine, each to their own. At the end of the day, once your makeup's on, if people think it looks okay, does it really matter how it got there? I just like to play with makeup. I just like to have fun with it. And makeup's very subjective anyway. So what works for one person might not work for another. If I make anybody cringe, I apologise. But this is me, this is how I do things. And to be honest, I'm still learning. So, right, so that's primer done. Now normally you would wait for a primer to sit for a little while before you put any foundation on, that much I do know. But we're not really going to do that today because I don't have time, basically. But that actually smells really nice. It feels quite nice. It feels a little bit powdery, I suppose, which sounds weird, but if you've used the NYX Angel Veil or the Hourglass Mineral Veil, it kind of feels a little bit like that. But well, that does smell quite nice. The next thing I bought, this is where things could start to go terribly wrong. So foundation, I've bought the double lasting foundation. I think this was also, yep, this was also Etude House, SPF 34. So we'll see how this goes. And I bought the shade Neutral Vanilla. As I said, I was trying to do it online and I struggle enough when I'm in a shop, so trying to do it online is just interesting. Okay, let's just toss that down there. Oh, that's It's quite a weighty package. It's glass, it's thick, it's chunky. If you drop it, it's not going to smash. You might break a toe though. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pump some onto the back of my hand, take my sponge and just go until I'm satisfied with the coverage. So just pumping it on. I'm going to eventually. So I'm just going to do a couple of pumps to start with and see. Now on the description it said that this was quite full coverage, so we'll see. I normally go for a light to medium coverage, just because I don't like things to be too thick and cakey on my skin. Oh, and I've already dampened the sponge, by the way, so I didn't even check to see whether this was going to be the right shade before I smeared it all over my face. It's actually lighter than I thought it was going to be. I looked at the box and I thought, oh my god, that's going to be too dark and very orange. The trouble I have with foundation is that my face is quite pink toned, but my neck, I don't know if you can tell, but my neck has more yellowy sort of undertones to it. So trying to find a foundation that actually matches my skin tone, it's like, well, which skin tone do you want me to match? So I usually try and go with the neck. So I normally go for neutral warm tones, but this is potentially a bit too light for me. In fact, there's no potentially about it. It actually is. But that's fine. That's fine. I can bronze up later, add some colour back in. But it's blending out quite nicely. And it's not looking too cakey. Honestly, you can probably see all of my rubbish. Whoops. Oh my god, this room is an absolute pigsty. It's kind of a work in progress at the moment. I'm trying to make it workable, but in the meantime I'm just using it as I'm going. So start bringing it down to my neck to make sure I'm blended in and match. Wow, that was so light. I look like a ghost. I'm just gonna try and cover this beast up. Yeah, and not that that's gonna work terribly well. Wow, it's so light. Oh my gosh, that's gonna have to do it. So that's what it's. Oh god, this nose is so dry, but it is actually dry. It's not the foundation. I've had a bit of a nose issue. Next thing I got was, so it's the Pro Fit Liquid Concealer, SPF 30, and that is from Pony Effect. I've got the shade Ivory. I suspect it might be too light, but I can use it for brightening in my routine, my normal routine. I can't get in. So let's have a look at this. So that's what it looks like. I'll tell you what, the packaging on these has been pretty damn good. I mean, it looks sort of higher end than what I've paid for any of this. None of this was massively expensive, I don't think. I think there was a couple of things that were a bit up there, but I'll get onto that later. Right, so this one's just a little doe foot applicator. Just gonna do under the eyes. Do it around my nose. That's probably no spot concealer as well. Probably not actually, they're going to be that bad. And then just taking the sponge again, I'm just going to start to. That foundation has creased a little bit in my fine lines around my eyes, which isn't fabulous, but okay, so the shade of the concealer I'm not unhappy with. Actually, once it's blended in, it's actually a fairly good match for me, but it's just that foundation. Blend that in. Whoa, it's not bad coverage. It's not done a bad job getting rid of that. Setting powder. So I struggled because normally I would use either a loose powder or a loose translucent powder or a pressed powder, and I did struggle to find one. So what I did find was this. Now if I remember right, and it's also from Etude House. I promise they're not all from Etude House. So it's got a brush, so you pop the lid off and there's a brush, and I think, oh yeah, okay, so on the side you've got open and close. So from what I can tell, you twist to open, and the idea is that the powder comes out of the brush. Oh, it's actually doing it. You're not going to be able to see that, but oh, you can see on the end there, look. It's interesting. I've got a thing about smelling things. That sounds weird, doesn't it? Oh well, I won't change it. All I'm going to do is just do my T-zone and the bits that I've just concealed, so under my eyes and T-zone. So this is difficult though with this brush. If I do this first, see how this works. I don't think it's working. Okay, so it's just a translucent powder, so it shouldn't leave any kind of colour. Although I could probably do with some colour. I'm just going to take a little fluffy brush just to dust off what's excess under my eyes. Oh god, you can see all my crap. I'm so sorry. I'm so messy. Always have been, probably always will be. There we go. Okay. Throwing everything away. Next I'm going to just do something with my lips. So I'm going to use the DHC lip cream. So this is one of the things that I mentioned that is Japanese, not Korean. But it's a brand that I've been using for a while. About 18 months I've been using this particular item. So just use the one it up. And it's just a clear lip cream. It's just to moisturise my lips before I get to the lipstick part later, because both of the options I've got are mattifying and I don't want my lips to be dry when I come to do that. Before I move on to anything else, I'm just going to set all this down. I'm going to try to use this, and this is the second Japanese product. So it's from Shimura and it's a makeup refresher mist setting spray. I'm just going to use it to just fix what I've done in place before I move on to the next step. So it's got oil and water in it, so you need to give it a bit of a shake, and this is in the scent Sakura, or Sakura, not sure how you pronounce that. There's 4 fragrances on there. This is one of the things that's pricey. If you're in a country that has access to Shiramura, you're probably best off going there instead. I'm excited to try this because I know it's got a fine mister on it, and I've used some setting sprays where it comes out quite thick, like heavy, like it just sprays water droplets on your face and it just makes your makeup look terrible. So oh, that's really fine. Oh, that smells amazing. Oh, I like that. It's really light but fresh, not too floral. Oh, that's nice. Just let that dry. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to use this. So it's the Too Cool for School art class by Rodin shading. So it's a contouring bronzer thing, and if I remember correctly, it's got 3 shades in there. So oh, wow, how cool is that? That's awesome. And then oops, a little thing in there. There's a mirror in there as well, and then that's what it looks like on the inside. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my brush and I'm just going to sweep it over the 3 colours and see how that goes. And then if it's too light, I'll just switch to the darker shades to see what happens. So sweepy, sweepy, sweepy. If it picks any up. No, can't really see that. Try it and see. Get them up in the rack, might help. Okay, and then just gonna there is some colour coming off, just not a massive amount. Maybe I'll stick to the darker shades. That looks like I've got a bit more colour payoff on there, so we'll try that. Sorry guys, battery died. Right, so where were we? Oh yes, bronzing. Let's give this a go on the other side. Oh, everything's moved now because I had to take the camera down. So I'm just gonna go in here. Oh, just trying to smash a mirror. It's awesome. Just try and warm this face up a little bit. Just dust anything else down here. It's looking a bit better. Oh, I still look quite pale on camera, but in the mirror I am starting to look a little bit more human again, or at least alive. So, blusher and highlighter, they're both from the same company. They're from 3CE or 3 Concept Eyes. Okay, so we've got blush and we've got a highlighter. Blusher is something that I don't like to go too heavy with because I've got quite red cheeks to start with, and if I put a blusher on, it kind of just defeats the point of me putting the base on to try and hide the fact that I've got red. So what I've done is I've gone for a peach coloured one, so you can see the colour of the packaging, pretty sure is the colour of the things that it says on the bottom. It's peach, and it's got a little puffing That's so cute. Wow. And then it's just got a little clip that you open up on the side, and then you've got tab, and it said it was a cushion blush. There you go. So I'm going to try and use this. Wish me luck. It does look very peach. So, now I've never used a cushion blush before, so this is going to be an experience. I don't want to go too dark. Oh, and to be honest, I've never really used a peach blusher. I've only ever really done pinky reddy sort of colours, which is probably the reason why I don't like wearing blusher, because I've always been wearing the wrong colour. But it also depends on what mood I'm in as to whether I want to wear pink or red. But I've never really tried a peach, but I think I might be converted, you know. That. Oh, I don't know if you can see that as well as I can, but that is such a pretty colour. I'm just going to try and get up close so you can see. Can you see that? Oh, that's a really pretty peach. Yeah, just on the bridge of my nose. It's what I would normally do with a brush for my blusher, is just dot it over here, because I like it to, that's where the sun would catch. So I like it to look a bit natural-ish, she says. Oh, I'm not unhappy with that at all. Ooh. Quite pleased with that one. Right, let's see what the highlighter's like. So this was in the shade Gold Pink. It says on there Gold Pink. And there was another one I was looking at, and I can't remember what brand that was by, but I thought that looked quite pretty, but I liked the idea of the Gold Pink. Again, it's got a little mirror, it's got the highlighter there, and then it's got underneath, there was a little brush. In fact, I'm not going to use this brush because it's just the wrong shape. I don't like that shape, but I'm looking at this. It doesn't look very highlightery. It looks very powdery. I'm not a fan of those sorts of highlights. Oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was. I thought there was going to be no sheen to it, and there actually is. We'll give that a go. And okay, so I'm just going to take a little blending brush. I have got a highlighting brush. I've got two somewhere, but I don't know where they are. So I'm just going to use this because this works fairly well. It's not ideal, but it does work fairly well. Just tap off the excess, and then I'm just going to see if that does anything. Oh, actually, oh, it kind of does. Don't know if you can see that on camera, but I'm just gonna dust that on. Can we see that? I don't generally like a blinding highlight. I like to keep things quite sort of just healthy, dewy looking, and so far that's kind of doing the job. I quite like it, to be honest. It's not what I thought it was going to be, but it's actually applied kind of like I thought it would. It confuses me, because that does not look like it's got any gold in it at all, but when you put it on, it actually does. Don't know if you can see that at all. Okay, so I'm just going to do my brows. So I've bought 2 brow products. I've got a drawing eyebrow, again from Etude House, and it was in the shade dark brown. And I've got an Innisfree skinny eyebrow mascara, if it will sort of, there you go, skinny brown mascara. This might work. It looks like it might be quite dark, which this I'm concerned about. But we'll have a look. Okay, so it's got a spoolie on one end, pencil, and it's just a little triangular shaped thing. It's quite similar to the Benefit one I've just bought, the Goof Proof. Okay, so we're just gonna try and define a little. Oops, swap that over. Just gonna try and fill in some of the gaps. I'm not good with brows, just so you know. In fact, I'm just going to zoom you in so you can see what I'm doing, but I'm not good with brows, so I don't know whether you actually want to watch this. So just try and fill in some of the gaps that I've got, and then just draw it out a bit. I normally use a brow powder. I'm much more comfortable with that, but I'll tell you what, since I got into this whole makeup lark, I felt so out of touch. Like, when I was at school, I never did any makeup. My mum was never into makeup, and what little she did have, I wasn't really that fussed by. And I didn't really start doing anything with makeup until I was in the sort of later stages of secondary school. Whoops, messed that up. Oh my god. But yeah, I was sort of in the later stages of secondary school before I started doing anything to do with makeup, and even then it was the cheapest of the cheap. We had a shop in the village that we lived in, and it had, like, well, it was called a discount store, and it had got homewares and ornaments and things like that in, but it also had a little makeup section, and I had a foundation from there, I had a powder from there, I think I probably had a couple of lipsticks from there. And then my mascara, I distinctly remember my mascara being Miss Sporty. I feel like that dates me. But the foundation was orange, the powder was orange, eyeshadow, I had a little Rimmel duo. One was dark grey and the other was silvery grey. And that was it. That was all I used, ever. mascara, eyeliner, couldn't get to grips with. Even now I struggle, and I'm not a massive fan, but yeah. But it was about 4 years ago I started to actually get into makeup at all. And it was while I was planning to get married to my husband, and I wasn't sure what I was doing makeup wise, so I thought I might end up doing it myself. Look how light that is. Oh dear, that's quite light. I'm just gonna, yeah, I think we might skip. I think we're gonna skip. Oh, I don't know. Do you know what? I've bought it. We'll give it a go. Might just give it a bit of dimension. Oh, I needed to clean up that side, didn't I? It is very light. Oh! Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. This, oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's all going wrong. It was me thinking the foundation was going to be the worst part. Nope. Okay. Oh, that feels crusty. I don't like that. I don't like that. Brows stress me out. Use a clean one. Just, oh. No, I don't like that mascara. It's made my eyebrows feel really crusty. Not a fan. Next thing, eyeshadow. So we've got the Milky. So it's from Holika, which I think, there you go. Which is a brand that again I've heard of. You can get some items in this country, but not many, and it's usually skincare, not makeup. It's so cute. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I know a few people are going to think this is really cute. Oh no, this is so cute. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to look. Look at the little face. Oh, I'm not going to use any primer, just because I didn't get any. I do have primer and I could fetch it, but I can't be bothered. So I'm just gonna, I'm gonna dip into this shade here to start with. Don't blow it. I keep blowing brushes, and I've seen a few people go, that's really bad, you shouldn't do that. And I think to myself, but there's only me using it. But at the same time, I'm trying to make a conscious effort to not blow my brushes. So I'm just going to pack that on. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, about 4 years ago, getting married, wasn't sure what I was doing for makeup. And I ended up actually having somebody do it for me. My bridesmaid organised it for me. And yes, I did say bridesmaid, I had one. And then I started investigating what I might need, what might work better, what would potentially be a disaster. And I found it quite interesting. And for someone who had always gone, what's the point? And if I had worn makeup, it was usually if we were going out somewhere. It was never a day-to-day thing, and it was always functional. It was always to make myself look like I'd dressed up, or it was to cover up something. It was never enjoyable. It was always a bit of a chore, and I never really bothered, because what was the point? What was the point in getting up early to put makeup on? I've never understood that, and to this day I still don't do that if I don't have to. And nobody has to wear makeup. even if you've got a face full of scars and whatever, that's you. In my opinion, no one needs to wear makeup, but I enjoy makeup and I'm really enjoying playing with makeup, and since I've gotten back into it in the last few months, I've enjoyed playing with colour. So if you'd have looked at my makeup stash 4 years ago, it was all rosy neutrals, brown neutrals, blacks and greys. It was never anything colourful, and recently I've purchased the Viseart Soleil palette, and I've been looking at the Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette, and the difference between my makeup preferences then and now is immense. And with what I'm finding on the market these days, I'm so upset that that wasn't around, and that I wouldn't have had the money to play with that kind of stuff anyway then. But I'm really upset that I'm not doing this 10 years ago, because I feel like some of the things that I'd be interested in using, I've got a limited sort of time to use them in, because I'm not getting any younger and my skin isn't getting any younger, and certain things are just going to start to look bad on the skin. Right, so next I'm going to go in with this shade, this shade on the corner here. Sorry, I'm going to dip into the face, and oh, that looks like a pretty colour. Oh, that's so pretty. And I'm just gonna pack that across the lid. So this palette, I'm finding it's taking a bit to get the colour on, but it's blending really well. Like if I just take the colour straight from there and shove it on, it's going on quite well, but I'm getting fallout, so I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to tap off the excess. This is why most people put on their base after their eyeshadow, and I know this, but I've always done it the other way around, and that is probably never going to change. That into the crease. Put a bit more colour on here. But yeah, I just enjoy makeup so much more now. I find it therapeutic to do. I just don't have an awful lot of time to do it, so I don't wear makeup every day. And then I'm going to use this darker brown shimmery satin shade, and I'm just going to use that on the outer corner just to darken that out. Again, you need to pack it straight from the pan in order to get that colour, but again, you're getting that fallout. But it's a nifty little quad. It's definitely something I could travel with. Make that even. Take a clean blending brush and just blend some of that out. Okay, and then last step for the top of my lids, last shade here. I'm just gonna, oh, keep blowing. It's very glittery. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a lot of that onto the eye. No, it's not going on very well. It's a little bit, but nothing amazing. I wonder if I can do it better with a finger. A little bit. I think this is one of those shades that would be better if you used it wet. Just gonna pack this on. To be fair though, it doesn't come off on camera very much, but it does give a very pretty sparkle. Oh, there you go, you can see it now. I quite like that. Just a little bit more. I feel like it's the kind of shadow that's going to drop. The sparkle and the shimmer is going to drop onto your face throughout the day. We'll see. So now I'm going to do eyeliner and mascara, and then I'm going to do the bottom of the eyes. 2 eyeliners, both from McQueen. One in Cherry Blossom Latte shade and one in French Latte shade. They're both gel, waterproof gel eyeliners. Waterproof's good for me because my eyes water quite a lot, and particularly if I'm using them on my waterline, I want them to be waterproof. So it just looks like that. It's a little pencil, and oh, that looks quite shimmery. Ooh, interested with that one. So I'm probably going to use that on my top eyelid, and that's the other one. So yeah, so I'm going to use this one on my waterline to try and brighten my eyes a bit with a lighter shade, and the other one I'm going to use on the top. So I'm going to try and do that now. This is where things get quite funny because I'm stupidly awful. Anyway, so that lid needs to come off. Okay, so I'm just gonna go for it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Okay. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm not going to do a wing or anything. Oh god, you can see all that mess. That's just bad. Bad. Basically, I'm in our spare room. Our spare room gets used as a dumping ground. Hence all the crap. But we're in the process of sorting that all out. We've got rid of quite a lot of stuff over the last couple of months, so it's getting there. It's just a very slow process. You probably can't see anything right about now. So guys, we're done as quick as I can. Oh god, this is so not even in the slightest. So I'm just going to smudge out some of this eyeliner. 2 seconds. La la la, mascara. So we've got this one. It's called Magic Pole. I'm sure that'll raise a few eyebrows. From Holika again, so the same brand as the eyeshadows. It should be a black one. Oh, that's a pretty package. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Oh, I tell you what, I am really loving the packaging. Okay, so, ooh, oh wow, it's bendy. It's a bendy wand. Tiny things. That's what she said. Okay, so I'm just gonna, oh, I was gonna curl my lashes. I can't be bothered. I really don't have time. So, I'm just gonna breathe all over the mirror so I can't see. That's what I'm gonna do. So this is a lengthening mascara. Long and curl, so yeah, lengthening, and it's supposed to help with the curl. And I think it has made a bit of a difference. I think you can see that on camera. I'm just gonna block you out, sorry guys. I can't do the whole bending my hand the other way for mascara. I try, but it just doesn't work. Oh, my poor boy, he's got a bit of a cold at the minute. Yep, so mascara, I'm quite liking it actually. I'm quite liking the way that it's applying. It's separating the lashes really nicely. Don't know if you can see that. I'm quite liking that, to be honest. Okay, so I'm just gonna, oh shoot, so I'm just gonna go in and do this bottom liner. Oh, I've got that face on. Oh, it's very gold. It wasn't quite what I thought I was getting. I thought I was getting like a creamy, like beigey colour, and it's quite gold. Don't know if you can see that on the bottom. Yeah, it's very glittery as well, and I am getting quite a lot of fallout from that glittery shade on the top. So note to self, next time I use it, use a setting spray and wet the brush to get it to fix. Maybe use a glitter gel as well, I do have one. Just going to try and dust some of that away. I'm going to have glitter all under my eyes. Do I care? No. Not right now, I don't know. Just going to run what's left of product on my brushes, under my eyes, it all together. That brownie shade, the darker brownie satin shade. I'm just gonna run that on the outer corner, just to tie everything together. And then just to make sure everything is blended out, I'm going to take that first colour that I used in this corner here on a pencil brush. Oh, stop blowing on it. And run that underneath just to diffuse it, make the lines a little bit less harsh. Okay, I think that's about it. Mascara on the bottom lashes. And I'm just going to use that end piece that's there just to do my bottom lashes, otherwise I'll end up with it everywhere. And yeah, that's about done for that then. Last but not least, lipsticks. So we've got two. We've got one by 3 Concept Eyes, that 3CE, and we've got one by a brand called Peri Pera. Okay, so the 3CE one is in the shade Mellow Flower, and it's the same shade as the box. And then this one is in the shade Celeb Deep Rose. So this one's an ink, so it's a lip stain, whereas the other one's a matte lipstick. I don't think I'm going to use this, purely because it is a lip stain and it is quite late on in the day, and I kind of want to be able to take it off. Have a look at this one. So this is the packaging cartridge for the lipstick. Take off the strip, and then it's all monochromatic. It's awesome. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is just apply that to the lips. I'm going to take it in a little bit because I don't want it to snap off. It's not applying too badly. neaten that up. Okay, so that's it. So let's just get up close and personal. So that lipstick's a bit, do you know what, it's not even, I've got a bit of discoloration on my lip, and it always makes it look, if I'm wearing dark lipsticks, that I've gone horrendously wrong, and I haven't. But yeah, I don't think that looks too bad. I don't think it looks great, but it could have been worse. Yeah, overall I'm quite impressed with what I've had. I think there's been a few things that I would probably try different things with next time. Foundation, the main one. I'm probably going to get away with using it in the winter. But coming up to summer now, so I'm not sure how much I'm going to get out of it. I might be able to mix it in with a darker foundation though, and try and use it that way. I've got something that's a similar sort of formula, so we'll try that. I keep looking at the monitor, sorry guys. I'm going to wear this for a bit tonight. I'm going to fill you in later about how I feel about it all, and I will let you know all the details about Yesstyle and the products that I got. See you soon. What do we think? Right, so I'm back. It is quite late at night. I think it's about 10 o'clock. I have no watch on. So the makeup has been on for 7 hours. Yep, 7 hours. And this is what it's looking like. I have reapplied lipstick. We ate dinner, it wore off, but that wasn't a massive surprise. So I'll just give you a bit of a close-up so that you can see what it looks like, and then I'm just gonna go over a few little points that I need to mention. So these are the eyes, and I don't think they're looking too bad, to be honest, considering I've got no primer on or anything. Yeah, I think it's all looking fairly intact. I did, after I shut the camera off earlier on, put some of that lower waterline eyeliner into my inner corner. I thought it would work quite well as an inner corner highlight, and I think that's probably what I'll end up doing in future. As regards the rest of my face, where I've had that issue with my nose, you can see something has clung to the dry patches. All this dryness here is like massively highlighted, which is not cute. Fine lines seem to be more highlighted, which I'm not thrilled with. A couple of things I want to mention before we get into all the finer details. First thing is, after I shut off the camera, I realised that when I powdered, I was going to use the sponge to pat it all in. Sometimes it helps to just even everything out, and I didn't do that. Subsequently, I have noticed that my face looks very, very powdery. And it's aging me massively. As I've just said, dryness is being highlighted. Now I don't know what's done that. I don't know whether it was the foundation, I don't know whether it was the concealer, I don't know whether it was the powder. It could have been a combination of all three. And something else that I thought about afterwards as well, when I was talking about the eyeshadow palette as I was applying that, I said about the colour not going on very densely. I was having to sort of pack it on and build it up. Now, I made it sound like I didn't like that. I don't mind that. I quite like that some eyeshadows you have to build up, because you can always add more on, you can't always take it off. So I actually don't mind that with an eyeshadow palette. And I also thought afterwards, you've also got to bear in mind who these products are aimed at. They're not aimed at me. They're not aimed at people in the Western world. They're aimed at people who use Korean beauty on a daily basis. Current trend for Korean beauty is quite pastely, neutral, muted sort of colours on the eyes, whereas Western makeup is more, we want pigment, we want colour, we want to pack it on, oh it's so pigmented. And I think I forgot that a little bit while I was applying it, and it was only after I shut the camera off that I went, oh, yeah, but that kind of makes sense. So yeah, so I just wanted to mention that. It's not a negative by any means, and actually I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoy the palette, and the fact that 7 hours later with no primer it's still looking alright. So Yesstyle as a website, what do I think? Did I like it? What did I think of the service? So they're based in Hong Kong, and the prices on the website for quite a lot of the stuff actually really reasonable. They have flash sales on, they have deals on. Quite a lot of the things that I looked at and were interested in were on some sort of offer where there was a percentage off. So you can get some bargains on there. You just have to be careful with a few brands. Things like Shumura and Shiseido was another one I noticed. They're expensive. Some of the Shiseido lipsticks are currently on there as of today for £44 something or other. That's insane. You're not going to do it. You're not going to pay that kind of money. The face spray on the website normally retails for about £39. And I think I got this for 32-ish, and that was because there was a percentage off. I still cringed. Don't get me wrong, I still cringed, but I was desperate to try it. I'm not disappointed. I do think that that had some sort of impact on the rest of the face staying in place. I like the mister. I really like the mister. It's such a fine mist, and I think it's going to become one of my favourite, which is unfortunate because of the price. I have heard that Shumura are pulling out of European markets, so it's pretty much going to be the only place that you can get Shumura is through Yesstyle. So I ordered at the end of April and it's now the 11th of May. So it took about 12 days to arrive, which, to be honest, from Hong Kong to the UK, I thought was pretty good. There was no customs charges. It was well packaged. It was delivered by a courier, not Royal Mail. It came at about 8:30 at night. My husband went, "Who the hell is that?" I opened the door and there's this guy. "Here's a parcel for you." Okay. I thought it was coming with Yodel. It didn't. It came with DPD. Don't know what happened there. But anyway, I got it. It was all in one piece. I'm happy with how quickly it came. I was expecting it to take longer. Like I said, price wise, not too bad. Quality of the products, brands that were on there are brands that I've heard of. So I've heard of Shumura, I've heard of Shiseido, I've heard of Holika, I've heard of 3CE. What else is that? I've heard of Etude House. So I think there's some good finds on there. They also do some US beauty products as well. So there's brands like CoverGirl and The Balm. So you know you can find some decent things. It's just the prices that you have to be a bit careful with. The other thing that I feel like I should mention is when you're ordering, be careful. If you want something soon, check when the shipping might happen. What I mean by that is everything I ordered here, it said ships within 48 hours, I think it was, or ships within 24 hours, one or the other. But there was a couple of items that I was looking at, some of the Tony Moly stuff. It was ships in about 21 days. And I went, that's a long time. And what you need to know is that if you've got an item in your basket that ships after everything else, they will hold back the rest of the order until they've got everything. So if you've got everything that ships in 1 day, 2 days, whenever it is, but you've got one item in there that doesn't ship for 21 days, they're going to hang on to your whole order for the 21 days and then ship everything out together. Which in a way is good, because it means you get everything all in one go, but if you want something like now, you're not going to get it. So just be aware of that. Yeah, I think that was it for Yesstyle. So really impressed. First impressions are good. And would I order from them again? Yes, I would. As regards to the products then, let's just go through them bit by bit. So, face primer, I like it. First impressions are good. Like I said, it felt a bit like the Hourglass, so I'll continue to try that out. Foundation, it's just not my shade. I think that was pretty obvious when I started applying it. I'm still looking, thinking, wow, I'm pale. So, a bit of a fail, but mainly my fault. And as for how it goes on, I liked that it felt quite lightweight, but I don't know whether the overall finish is what I would need. So we'll see. The concealer, again, colour's not a bad match according to the way I use it anyway. It blended in quite well. Again, I don't know whether that had anything to do with highlighting to any texture on the face. The powder, I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan. But again, I don't know whether it was the application. Normally I would use a small amount on a smaller brush and apply it where I need it, and then maybe use a pressed powder for anywhere else. I think using this brush, it's too much. It's very fluffy, very fluffy. I kind of want to have a bit of a play with it. I'm kind of wondering if I can get the product out, if I can depot it and use it the way that I would normally use it, and see whether that makes any difference. So I want to have a play, but first impressions, I'm not massively impressed. Bronzer, I'm not sure. I don't feel like I got a lot of colour payoff with it, but I'm not sure whether that's the brush I was using. The brush I used is quite, again, it's quite soft and fluffy, which feels lovely on the skin, but doesn't necessarily pick up product from the pan. And this bronzer, it's going to be really hard for me to convey this, but it's quite solidly in there. You know, there's no kick up or anything when you dig anything in. So I think it's quite tightly pressed in there. I think I need a rougher brush to pick up some product. So again, I need to have a play. And again, first impressions, not great, but could have been the tool I was using. Blush, I really liked the blush. I think that probably came across as I was using it. I think the little pad thing is neat. I think it applies the product quite well, and it's small enough that you can get it where you need it. I think the product blended into the skin quite nicely. I think it was a really good colour. I think, first impressions, I think I'm going to quite enjoy this product. But again, I'm going to try it out a bit more and see what I think overall in the long run. Highlighter wasn't what I was expecting. Not as bad as it originally looked, but I don't think it's my favourite. I thought this was going to look a lot more special, and I just look at it and think, okay, and I'm going to forget that this is shimmery. So at some point I'm going to pick this up, look at it and go, oh yeah, that's rubbish, and just throw it to one side. I just don't think I'm going to reach for it. Brow products, pencil, I think it's going to work okay. I'm going to try it out some more. The colour wasn't a terrible colour, quite similar to the Benefit one that I've picked up recently. Mascara, the brow mascara, no, I really don't like it. The crunchy feeling isn't quite as bad as it was when I initially applied it, but they just feel really unnatural to me, and I just don't like it, and that's mostly personal preference. Eyeliners, they're eyeliners. I liked the bronzy colour. I think it applied quite easily. I think it applied really well. This one, the lighter one, the one I used in the waterline, I wasn't a fan when I first applied it because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but since I thought about using it as an inner corner highlight, it's grown on me a little bit more. So I'm going to continue playing with it to see what I think. I might grow to love it, we'll have to wait and see. Mascara, it's alright. I mean, I'm looking in the mirror now and I can't see any flaking. It didn't go on clumpy. It was quite easy to put on. I like that it's got that little bit at the end to, it just made life a bit easier when trying to do my lower lashes. Whether that's what that's actually for or not, I don't know, but that's how I would utilise that. The palette, I did like this. I don't think it's fabulous quality, but as a neat little travel palette, you can't go wrong. Oh, it's got a couple of mattes, a satin and a shimmer. You know, you can go from day to night with that quite easily. And yeah, I really quite liked the colour combination that I managed to get. It's something that I would wear regularly, and it's just so damn cute. You know, regardless of whether it works, it's very, very cute. So yeah, happy with that. And lipsticks. So obviously I didn't try this, but this, I like it. Even though it's a matte lipstick, it's not drying. It doesn't feel dehydrating on the lips. It was easy to apply. It was easy to reapply. I think that you do need some sort of moisturising base underneath it, to make sure that you don't get dry. But it's not a proper dry down, I'm sucking the life out of your lips kind of matte. And also, I love the packaging. Absolutely love that you can just look at that and know that that is the colour of the lipstick, and it's just monochromatic all the way through. Love it. So would I purchase more? Yeah, next time I'm on Yesstyle, I will be looking at 3 concept eyes, and I will be looking at repurchasing lipsticks and blushes. That was all the products. I'm gonna list everything in the description down below. What I'm gonna do is I am gonna continue using these products throughout the rest of the month and into next month, and maybe the end of next month I'll do a bit of a recap, a bit of an update about everything, just to see where I'm at with everything. First impressions don't really tell you anything. It's only when you use a product for a while that you can get an idea about whether you actually like it or not. Things that I like now, I might not like later. Things that I thought were awful now, I might actually grow to like. And the thing is, using a full face of makeup, you're using brand new things, you can't tell what's working and what's not, especially with the base products. I don't know what is happening. I don't know what's making things happen. So I wanna have a bit of a play and see what's actually going on. And yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and I will let you all know how I get on with it all. In the meantime, if you do decide to shop with Yesstyle, I'll link a code down below that I think will give you 10% off the first order at the very least. I'm not sure about subsequent orders, but yeah, I'll link that down below, and then if you're interested you can use that. And just so you know, I think there is some sort of benefit to me, but it's like a small discount or something for me if I order in future as well. So you don't have to use it if you don't want to. It doesn't cost you any more to order, but it does give me a little bit of a benefit, so entirely up to you. So yeah, I think that's it then, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.